Hello, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Bits and Banter. And in this morning's edition, we are going to discuss last night's match between RCB and Delhi Capitals. Welcome, Arvind. Before we start, I'll just give up a quick wrap up of last night's match. RCB batting first scored 171 for 5, with De Villiers leading as usual, leading the batting power with 75 not out. The Delhi Capitals, in reply, they were mostly out of the match till from perhaps around the 17th over, they got going and managed to reach 170 and fall agonizingly short by 1 run. They ended at 170 for 4. So it was another, for the record, Delhi Capitals have lost three in the entire history of IPL, 3 matches by 1 run. So that is the kind of the day. Arvind, how do you look at the match? Because in a match of such flow, I mean, both the teams didn't win by much. I mean, both the teams didn't win or lose by much. So, where was exactly the pivot of the match?
Um, uh, we can look the match in this probably in two sides. In the first innings, till the 19th over, it could have gone with anybody. The 20th over, you can call it AB de Villiers' brilliance, or probably Delhi Capitals team management's poor decision of giving Stoinis the ball. So that is one area. Secondly, in the second innings, when Rishabh Pant came out to bat, he consuming plenty of balls is where I feel the match shifted away from Delhi Capitals. So these two areas is where I feel the match actually shifted in favor of RCB.
That's a good point, because both the matches, I mean, both the innings, 19, the 20th, the final over was pretty crucial. And in a sense, there was some kind of a poetic justice in RCB scoring of its batting 20th over, because it kind of lost its match against CSK in the 20th over, where Jaddu kind of berserk with 37 runs against Harshal Patel in the previous match. So here, AB de Villiers scored 23 runs, which was not as good as 37, but it was great. And it was actually, as you rightly pointed out, it is where the match kind of shifted. The momentum came to RCB's way. And from then on, till around 16th over in their bowling innings, RCB was pretty much the dominant team. Yeah, you rightly pointed about Rishabh Pant, because here I want to point out Rishabh Pant had a strange kind of innings. And in fact, the entire Delhi team had a strange kind of innings, except Shimron Hetmyer. Nobody scored sixes.
Yeah. So that's what I was yesterday I was thinking. Rishabh Pant had a very strange kind of inning. So I was just discussing it with one of my friends, saying that a 23-year-old Rishabh Pant played like a 35-year-old MS Dhoni. I know Rishabh Pant idolizes MS Dhoni to a very large extent, but the way he ate up, not to this extent. So correct. Except Shimron Hetmyer, I think Delhi Capitals had a very strange way of approach to the game.
In a sense, see, to lose a match by 1 run happens. It has happened, and in fact, it has happened to Delhi. As I said, this is the third time. But to have two batsmen with 50 plus runs in the middle and still lose by 1 run is not something that most teams would accept, because something.
And they were not out. They were not out.
And both the players are capable of big hits. That's one of those things when the man in better form on the night, Shimron Hetmyer, didn't get bulk of the strike in the last over, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So strategically, did you think Delhi kind of muffed it?
Delhi kind of lost it there, but again, we have when Shimron Hetmyer took over Jamieson in the 18th over. I think Jamieson missed out on the Orcas. He went out of the bowling and he scored about 21 runs. I think I always believe that in a T20 game, the penultimate over is very, very important. 19. Harshal Patel's over, 19th over is very, very important in the second inning. So Harshal Patel's over, though he gave 11 runs, we must understand the fact that the boundary which went was of a misfield. So Harshal Patel was brilliant in his 19th over. And one thing what we'll have to give credit is to Mohammad Siraj, who bowled brilliantly back of length deliveries to Rishabh Pant, which denied him going for big shots. So strategically or tactically, I don't know what went wrong for Delhi Capitals, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to take away the credit from the RCB bowlers, especially in the 19th and 20th over. How they bowled to well set batsmen like Rishabh Pant and Shimron had.
Yeah, it is pertinent that you pointed because Harshal Patel, the psychological blow of the 37 runs against Jaddu would have been weighing on his mind. For him to come back and bowl
Yeah.
so well as he did last night, that was pretty important. And you're right
Correct.
about Siraj. Siraj has been in great form all through this IPL season. He has been nailing those Yorkers. He has been getting those wide Yorkers also right. So he has been one of the few players or Indian players who has managed to carry on his good form from international cricket to IPL because not many have managed to do that. So in the sense, that is important. But I want to pick your brain on the innings that AB de Villiers played. How do you? I mean, that man during the course of the innings, he also went past 5,000 runs, the second foreign player to do so in IPL, but in a lesser number of balls. So, what keeps AB de Villiers going?
See, we have seen him for more than a decade about how he's playing. There has not been an occasion where his form has dipped, unless you bowl deliveries of like a gem of deliveries. I don't think you can stop AB de Villiers. He was brilliant. He knows how to pace the innings, and he knows at which bowlers to target. He was and I mean while we say that the 23 runs of the last over was a game changer, he knew that there was one bowler short for Delhi Capitals. So even if it was not the 20th over, I'm sure he would have targeted the 18th or 19th over. Who would have come to bowl at that point of time? So that is de Villiers' brilliance is what I feel, and he's a person who can change the game single-handedly. You have Virat Kohli there. You have now Padikkal is in brilliant form. Maxwell has been doing quite well. So AB de Villiers, he's a person who can take the game away single-handedly. I must give credit to Rajat Patidar, who when de Villiers came to bat, Patidar was taking most of the risks and going for the shots, which allowed AB de Villiers to settle down. And once Patidar got out, I guess it was AB de Villiers' responsibility to take the game away.
Yeah, because just to add to what you said, AB de Villiers has this unique ability of picking on the right player to target and also the right occasion. He understands the players and also understands the situation. That kind of a tactical brilliance is not given to every player. See, if some players are good at targeting individual bowlers or anything, some batsmen. Some player play the situation. Somebody like Dhoni plays the situation pretty well. See, in a sense, AB de Villiers is a kind of a mix between Virat Kohli and the MS Dhoni. See, he marries the brilliance of both. So, and this man is away from international cricket, and to walk into this tournament without any great, great practice, this is a bit beggar. That is amazing.
Yeah, I don't know whether I don't know how much he would have played between the last IPL and this IPL, but it doesn't look like as if he has lost touch.
Exactly, he has never been out of it.
Very true.
How to sum up Delhi Capitals bowling effort, because they obviously missed Ravichandran Ashwin because he's out of IPL. At least for the time being. But the rest of the bowlers, how do you? They had a decent. Till that last over, they kind of bowled well.
They kind of bowled well, but again, this is a game. See, Avesh Khan has. See, if I choose bowlers accordingly, Avesh Khan has been pretty good. He's been quite impressive. He's been quite impressive, and he did not disappoint yesterday. At the same time, Rabada was also pretty good. Mishra, to an extent, Mishra had an over left. I think fearing AB de Villiers, he was not given his last over.
He bowled only 3 overs for 27 runs, 1 wicket.
Yeah, 1 wicket. So 27 runs is okay, but I guess fearing AB de Villiers, he was not given. So they were not bad. I would rate them 7 on 10 for their overall bowling. It was definitely the last over which had actually shifted the momentum from Delhi Capitals. Ishant Sharma, his comeback was brilliant.
Ishant Sharma I was also impressed with Ishant Sharma in the sense he was playing his first match of the season, and he had a maiden over also, which is pretty rare in T20. He had a wicket, and that wicket of Devdutt Padikkal, because he was consistently bowling the away-going deliveries for the left hander. He generally kept it straight. That was
beautifully set him up. So
that was good, but in general, see, you rightly pointed about Avesh Khan's form, but I'm not really sure about Kagiso Rabada's form in this IPL. So he has been leaking runs, though he has been getting wickets. he has also been leaking runs because if you can see De Villiers kind of impetus came with the six of Rabada. That kind of set him
Then the
up.
penalty met over, yeah.
The penalty went over. So Rabada's bowling form is a bit of a concern, not exactly a huge concern, but a bit of a worry for
Delhi Capitals. Yeah.
But anyway,
So
RCB
I think,
wouldn't mind that.
yeah. So see now, Andre Norke has been. I think he's back with the team, I believe, or probably he should be back with the team anytime soon. So once he is back, I guess they can probably replace Rabada, give Rabada a break for about a couple of games and see how Norke performs. So they still have a good bench with regards to the overseas players also. So
yeah, talking about overseas players, Steve Smith has to fire because he is.
Yeah, Steve Smith definitely has to fire.
So, but he is too good a player. He can come good on any night. So
yeah.
But anyway, RCB will take, even if it is by 1 run, RCB will obviously take this 2 points. That will be happy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
just
a couple of go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was just looking at how the two teams performed in the last couple of seasons, and Delhi Capitals won 4 out of 4 against RCB in the last 2 seasons. So I think it's credit really goes to RCB how they have planned and worked according to their plans against the Delhi Capitals team.
Yeah.
The biggest plus for RCB has been their bowling. And Siraj, who has led the attack brilliantly well.
Exactly.
I think it's such an irony that Yuzvendra Chahal, who has been the strongest element of RCB, now looks like the relatively weaker element of RCB.
We have been talking on this program quite regularly about Chahal's kind of he's gone kind of off the boil, because yesterday, if you notice, he bowled only 2 overs. I mean, you rightly said he is one of the main elements of RCB's bowling, but now he is kind of a supporting cast. He's part of the supporting cast. But anyway, RCB, because it's in another sense, it's an important win for RCB, because the loss against CSK was not an ordinary loss. It's a morale dampening loss. So for them to come back from such a defeat, that augurs well for RCB's mental strength also.
Yeah, correct. So that clearly shows what a champion side they are this season. And their tagline "Isal Cup Namade" is actually turning out to be a reality now. I mean, everyone has started believing that yes, RCB can probably go till the end. So I think that shows what kind of a champion side they are this season. Delhi Capitals, on the other hand, what I believe is that they kind of had a very good chance of winning easily against Sunrisers Hyderabad, which they kind of slipped, which really went to the super over. And even in the super over, their win was not convincing. 2 to 3 runs out of the 8 runs which they scored were out of leg by. So somewhere in back of their mind, they have not been very comfortable, is what I felt with regards to Delhi Capitals.
Yeah. And talking of Sunrisers Hyderabad, tonight they take on the table toppers CSK. Your thoughts on this match before we wrap up?
Yeah, so I think CSK go as the outright favorites for this match with the kind of form they are in. So I think adding Sunrisers Hyderabad's too much of uncertainties, quite a few out of form players, including their captain Warner, which adds to their adds to their problems. So CSK go in as outright favorites for this match, but you never know. So I think I don't know. I would like to take your inputs on this. We've not been seeing Manish Pandey, Vridhiman Saha. I think Bhuvi's had a niggle or not. I'm not very sure about it.
He has had a niggle, but he is also he's said to be unlikely starter for tonight's match also. He didn't play
tonight's match also.
So they have to stick with the problem for SRH is their 4 foreign players are kind of settled. It's only the other players of the Indian origin Indian players who are not firing, especially the middle order, which is a huge problem, because the top 3 is foreigners, and the other foreigner is Rashid Khan, who can never be dropped. So you have Warner captain, Barstow, and Kane Williamson. So
I have it's an out of the box thinking. So I think last season or the season before that, Bhuvi captained SRH when Kane Williamson was actually the captain. just to stabilize the team balance, Williamson dropped himself and Bhuvi came in so that they could accommodate 4 foreign players. Warner is actually out of form.
See,
Warner is actually
he is not firing. You're right, but
he's not
that
firing.
Yeah, that's a huge call, and I don't know whether the think tank of SRH, which includes Tom Moody as the director and head coach
Lakshman is
batting coach is Lakshman. The head
Lakshman.
coach is Trevor Byles, and the assistant coach is Brad Haddon. So whether this brain stress will actually, that's a huge call, because Warner is not an ordinary player. He's kind of the talisman of the entire SRH batting unit. So
that is true.
I don't know whether they will take that call. And whom do you replace Warner with? Are there enough batsmen in the SRH ranks to do the job? I doubt that, because they don't have anybody. See, they dropped money.
They can actually bring in Saha as the opener. Manish Pandey can come in. No, this is just my out of thought, so that they can accommodate Mohammad Nabi.
Your point about Saha is right, in the sense Saha is the one whose arrival kind of helped stimulate things for SRH last season.
Towards the end of the season.
Towards the end of the season, that's what piloted them into the last 4. But
correct.
On the evidence of 2 matches that he played, he didn't show much form. So I don't know whether
he didn't show much intent. Yeah.
So that's one of those things. But that's what. See, it is these confusion which kind of reflects in SRS's approach, and it also kind of explains why they are around the bottom-run teams. Whereas CSK has its the team is kind of settled. The only question is whether they go back to Moeen Ali, who had a hamstring niggle last match, whether they want to bring him back or they continue with Imran Tahir. That's the only.
I think the change. I think the change will be Moeen. I think the change will be Moeen Ali instead of Dwayne Bravo. It's Delhi. The pitches are generally known to be slow. So probably Ali can take up Bravo's place. Otherwise, they'll go with the same team and ensure that Ali is better fit for the next match. They wouldn't want to take a chance.
Okay. So you think Moeen Ali will not be played tonight?
I feel they can afford to rest him one more match because I think they would want Ali to be fit against Mumbai Indians, probably a much stronger team, a team which would give a better fight compared to Sunrisers Hyderabad. I'm not demeaning Hyderabad by any means. So I guess this I think they might go with the same team. But if at all they would want to bring Ali, I feel that they should go with Ali instead of Dwayne Bravo.
Okay. Okay. On that note, we'll wrap up this morning's program. We'll come back to you tomorrow morning too. Thanks, folks. Thanks, Arvind.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Take care.